Well, hello and welcome to I Love Gay today. And this is part of our travel influencer series where we're interviewing a variety of different travel influencers and bloggers and video bloggers and the whole gamut. And we're editing that together into a series of travel panels that are focused for virtual conferences. So here we are with Jon Bailey. How are you, Jon?
I'm doing well. Thank you. Thanks for having
From
me.
from 2DadsWithBaggage.
That's
that is
right.
that is the best name ever.
Thanks. My husband and I have two daughters that we adopted at birth years ago, and now they're 16 and 18, and we've traveled the world with them since they were little. So
Yeah,
two
yeah.
dads, luggage, baggage, it all goes together.
But how did you get started in going from that world into wanting to kind of share your story with the rest of the world?
Well, a lot of people asked us, straight, gay, everything in between, about our travels, and they wanted advice. They were going here, they knew that we had been, they wanted to know where it might be safe or where families would enjoy spending time or what there was to do with kids. And so I started writing these really long emails. And then somebody said, hey, you should start a blog. And I'd always been kind of intimidated
Yeah.
by the whole blogging world and just the commitment of time and energy it takes. But I was already kind of doing it for my friends, so it just kind of transferred online, and it went from there.
So it's a natural, organic progression.
Yeah, yeah, and I like to write.
Yeah. But out of all that, what are your favorite or the platforms that work best for you?
Oh well, in addition to the blog, which does pretty well, I share on social quite a bit, and Facebook seems to be the most successful for me, which is interesting because most people don't say that, and Instagram for sure, and now doing a lot of video, which I also had been intimidated by, and now I kind of have it down, so I'm doing more of that too.
I can attest the video is fun.
It is, and I think we have this like preconceived notion that everything has to be so polished and perfect. And if COVID has taught us anything, that nothing is perfect,
Yeah.
and so we just kind of go with the flow and we learn and adapt.
Yeah. Well, this is great. And the part that as you described at the very beginning, but what sets you apart? I mean, obviously I could jump in. You're a gay dad.
Yeah, and I think that does set us apart. People look to us because our kids are older. We've been through going through this for a while. Many, having gay parents or same-sex couples having children is not unusual anymore.
Yeah.
But when we started, it kind of was. And so our kids are now 16 and 18, and we've been through a lot. So people start to look towards us to say, well, what happened here? What have you done in this situation? And we have like a history to share, so that's been kind of interesting.
Yeah.
Our daughter Sophia kind of put us in the spotlight years ago. She wrote a letter to President Obama, and it was shared globally. And then he wrote back to her, and it was very poignant about same-sex marriage, and it made its way into arguments in the Supreme Court, and then finally it was of course legalized.
Yeah. Well, on our question about like, do you stay engaged with your audience and so forth? I think that also you kind of answered that even at the beginning when you're talking about how you started, which was you've been looking at this as a dialogue and a two-way street since the very beginning.
Yes, and I just think I enjoy that. I enjoy the connection and the back and forth and the conversation. I like when people comment and we have a discussion in the comment section, or even that they just like a photo, so I know that they're connecting and that they're enjoying the content.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah. But how are you adapting? How now that it's the year of the pandemic and quarantine and all things in between, how has that changed everything you're doing when it comes to whether it's personal life or this part of your life?
Pretty much in every way, right? Triton and I are both working from home, and so I'm in the family room in my home office, and he's in the guest room in his home office. And the kids are doing virtual school, so they're upstairs in their schoolroom Zooms. So we're getting to see a lot of each other, which has been great. I mean, really, a very nice silver lining to this is this kind of bonding that I get to see my family more than I ever would. So that's been wonderful. Having said that, we can't travel as much. I mean, we canceled, I think, 7 international trips that had been planned and booked, and I had scheduled into the blog, and of course we couldn't go. So I've been doing a lot of cooking, and I always did. Food's always been kind of part of what interests me, and when we travel, I was always into the food of whatever culture and place that we were visiting. So started doing a cooking show. I've been sharing recipes on the blog, and now I have a cooking show. It's called Dinner's Gonna Be a Little Late Tonight. And then I can tell you now that I just wrote a cookbook, which is about to be published right before Thanksgiving in time for the holidays. And it's meant for people who kind of are just getting started. It's actually called One Pan Cooking for Men. Yeah. Generally targeted towards people that don't cook very much, and so they want a simple recipe. But yeah, it's been kind of fun. In addition, I think we've tried to stay kind of local, but still travel safely. So we've been doing a lot of road trips, places where I feel like we can control the environment. No airplanes yet, but we've been taking road trips throughout Southern California into Arizona because we live in San Diego. So just doing a very careful research as to the hotel and the environment, or the Airbnb, wherever we're staying, and then places that we can safely take our family to visit in that location where we feel comfortable.
Yeah. No, that makes sense. And you're one of those few people that we're interviewing here that you've actually been on a real panel with me in the real world live. So I'm looking forward to when we're going to be able to do some of that again.
Hopefully soon.
Yes. And by the way, as I'm ending, we didn't even talk about my shirt.
Well, yeah, I was going to ask you, it looks like you have a ghosts.
It's for Halloween. Halloween being next week. I just got it, and I've decided that I'm going to take the ham level up a few notches. So I've never done this before, but I thought if I'm going to wear this for anyone, it's going to be for you.
Well, I admire it deeply.
The boldness and the braveness of being able to do this. Is that what you're saying?
You be you.
I'm going to take that. No, it's great to be here with you. And like I said, look forward to being able to connect with you in the real world. And thanks for being here to share a few moments with our audience here.
Thank you, Matt. It's been a pleasure.
You too. Take care.
And it feels good, so good.